Hey, you, come here. Want some memes? I got you.
Alright boys, today we're going down, way downtown to the red light district of crypto. We're gonna get dirty and degenerate, and just remember that the house is rigged against you. We're gonna go gamble in the casino that is Memecoins on Solana. Before I get started though, I just want you guys to know that you're pretty much guaranteed to lose money at some point in this game. You might get lucky and make a little bit of money more than you lost, just like going to the casino. But this is pretty much as degenerate as it gets, and you just want to be careful and definitely don't put any more into even the wallet than you're able to lose. Just like the casino, basically go in with a little bit of money, and when you lose that, just leave. But right now, Solana meme coins are pretty hot, and it seems like that's what the community wants, so I'm going to try to give you as much value as I can. So if you appreciate me taking this huge risk just to bring you guys max value, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and gamble. Bitcoin has been struggling with its all-time high, trying to stay above it for some time now. But if this volatility isn't enough to get you excited, then I've got something for you. Are you tired of seeing all of the meme coins that are going viral, and then you go down CoinMarketCap and try to find the meme coin, and then by the time you buy it, it's already pumped, and then it's going to lose you some money? Well, what if there was a way that you could get into these coins as soon as they're actually created, before everybody hypes them up, and before the pump actually happens? You might have heard of platforms like DEX tools where you can see projects that are newly being created, but even these platforms are a little bit slow. And I said we're going way downtown, all the way to the red light district, so we're gonna get as degenerate as we pretty much can. Word around the internet is that the professional degens are using bots, and this is how they snipe these coins before they get viral. There's a couple of bots that you can use. This one is what we're going to look at today. It's called BONKbot. If you go down into the description, there's going to be a link to this BONKbot, and that's going to be on Telegram. So make sure you've got a Telegram account, and then follow the link to the BONKbot and set it up. It'll automatically give you a wallet, and then you just want to send some Solana over there, and pretty much right away you can start trading. Then once you get your Telegram set up with the BONKbot, don't forget to follow the other link down in the description to the Only Good Snipes channel, where you can get more links to other bots and updates on all kinds of meme coins that I'm going to be looking for and posting over here in the coming up weeks. If you have two screens, it's going to really help you out, but you don't necessarily have to have that. I've got two screens set up here, with this main one that I've got the mouse moving around on being the main screen in front of me. And then I've got this vertical screen where these two tabs are open on. This will really help you out so that you can open up rugcheck.xyz, and this is how you're going to scan these meme coins to see if they're going to be an instant rug pull. The homepage of RugCheck looks like this, and basically what you want to do is go over to the BONKbot's token alerts bot, and here you'll find a few tabs over here on the left. The one that I'm pretty interested in here is the burned and renounced, because this means that basically they've burned their liquidity wallet and they can't just dump it on your head. If you turn on the notifications right here, it'll make a binging noise every time a new project comes through. And if you click on DEX Screener and open a tab, I'll move it over here to the main screen, and then you can see that pretty much this meme coin has been created just 3 minutes ago, with each one of these candles being a minute. And if you go down to the second tab, you can see that pretty much as soon as that little notification came through over here on Telegram, people started to pump it pretty significantly. Generally, over here under the liquidity, you'll see that this little green lock button will show up after it's been burned in the Telegram, but it shows up over here later, and that's whenever people seem to start pumping this thing. As you saw, right as soon as I clicked on it, it pretty much pumped 51% and then crashed, erasing all of those gains for the last whatever 10 or so seconds. And this thing is going to pump and dump really rapidly, but this is where you might be able to make a little bit of a trade. If you go back to the Telegram notification and you click on the mint code right here, that's going to be the contract address. And if you take that up to the rug check and type it in, or just paste it into the address here and check it, it'll tell you whether the top couple of wallets hold all of the coins and they're going to be able to dump it on you. And there's a lot of other things that it'll be able to tell you here to see if it's got a good risk analysis. The lower the risk analysis, the less risky it's going to be. And while this one does say good, as you can see over here on the chart, it is definitely going to be a rug pull. These are pretty much all going to be rug pulls, and they're going to only pump for a few minutes. And it's basically like everybody is standing around a table, throwing cash on it with their blindfolds on, and the first one to grab all of the money wins. But everybody's just trying to see how much money they can pile up on the table before some degen in their mom's basement just grabs all of the cash. As you can see while I've been sitting here, the price has pretty much dumped back down to its opening price, and now it might actually go up again because sometimes these things pump twice, but usually after they have a pump and dump like this, they're just going to go sideways and pretty much all of the liquidity is going to be gone. I know this one looks like it pumped a lot and then crashed pretty significantly, but this was actually a really small pump, and a lot of times these things will move hundreds of percents in a matter of seconds. So not all of these are going to be good to bet on, and you probably want to look for a pretty good meme. This one is just called Blobby, and it looks like it's pretty much based off of the Pepe meme, with it having the same face on the character. But in my opinion, this meme isn't all that funny. Sometimes you'll see one pop up and you'll just laugh at the name, and generally those ones seem to pump harder. But it is all just speculation, and you pretty much just have to go off of culture, and it's just meme culture, really. Anything that people already know about is going to have a higher likelihood of catching attention. But just remember that all of these things are pretty much going to pump and dump within just a matter of 10 or 15 minutes, maybe even less than that. And I've seen some of them only last like 1 or 2 minutes, with them already having pumped and totally dumped and went flat by the time I even click on the link over here to Dex Screener on the notification. One way that you can probably mitigate risk if you're new to this is you can go over to the charts, and whenever you click on it, you might be able to just use a horizontal line, because these bot buys are really quick and it's pretty much just one click, so you can kind of test how it's going to go for you by figuring out where you think is going to be a good buy zone and then just putting a blue line there, and then you just watch it and see what you think you would be able to do if you had actual money on the trade. And basically this is going to be paper trading. So like, for instance, how I just did, you could put a blue line here because it looks like it's at some support, and if it bounces, then you could see how high you think it's going to go before you would actually sell. If, for instance, it pumped all the way back up here to this level of resistance here, and it started to kind of round off and lose some momentum, then you could put another blue line there, and that would indicate your sell zone. And obviously there's no real money here, but if it was a real trade, you would have made like 54 or 55%. It only takes a matter of seconds for it to move that fast. As you can see, every single one of these candles is a second. And back here, it had a pump of more than 200% in 1 second, which could have been a really great opportunity, but if you didn't sell really fast, then you would have had to endure a whole 52% or 55% correction over the next 3 seconds or so. I was almost not sure if I wanted to tell you guys about all of this information, but we're all adults here, hopefully, and casinos do exist in real life, which is pretty much what this is, so I think you guys are able to make a responsible decision with your money. And if you want to have a little bit of fun just playing with the blockchain technology and seeing what it has to offer, then this could be a good opportunity to maybe have some fun and possibly even make a little bit of money while you do it. The things that I look for when I'm researching these projects is pretty much I just look to see if there's liquidity, to see if there's like $10,000 at least worth of liquidity over on the Dex Screener app. How you can do that is you just pull up the address of the contract and then it'll show you right here. This project currently has $8.6 thousand in liquidity and it is locked up. So that means that the creator of the token supposedly can't just dump this on your head. But as you can see, they pulled the rug in another way. It just took them a little bit longer to do it. Generally, I think that if there's like less than $10,000 in liquidity, then that can just go really quickly, obviously. Basically, anybody can put in a sell order and just wipe out all of the liquidity anyway, but it takes a little bit more of a holding for people to wipe out the whole liquidity if there's more than $10,000. And while that definitely doesn't make you safe, it definitely can help you not to get the rug pulled on you as soon as you buy a project, hopefully. Also, I look to see if there's a buy or sell tax to see if they're going to lock you into the project, because if you sell and you have to pay a 10% tax, then you better have made at least 10% profit, or else you're just going to be in a negative, and if you match the profit to the tax, then you're just going to break even anyway. Basically, that means that you're working for the developers, and at this point in meme coin culture, it seems like these pretty much have no place. I don't usually see a buy or sell tax, but they're definitely something to watch out for. As you can see over here on RugCheck, it says that the Blobby token has mutable data or mutable metadata, and most of them do. but this basically means that they can like change the parameters of the coin, and they might even be able to mute some of the actions or transactions that are happening on the network. Essentially, it means that they can pretty much pull the rug on you, but it's not as fast as them just selling the liquidity pool. So as long as it's burned, then this is something that's kind of acceptable. You just want to make sure that you have most of these things going for you. You're almost never going to see one that has all of them going. I already covered, does one address hold most of the tokens, and you can see that right here on the rug check as well. As you can see, the Blobby token has top holders holding 54% of the total supply, and that means that they can pretty much dump 54% of the tokens on you at any time. And obviously that will draw down the price pretty significantly if that is to happen. And sometimes you'll see that they're going to have a website or an X profile, and this basically means they're putting more money and more time into the project, so they might not be as willing to just rug you. On these bot alerts, you can see that, like this one, for instance, Scanbag or Canbag has a website and a Twitter. And if you go and click the link to the website, you can see that it's basically just a pretty simple website. This one's actually better than the ones that I usually see. And as you can see by this one that just popped up, it doesn't have a website. So that means that the developers are pretty much just trying to do a cash grab, and they're going to be putting less effort into this so that they can just make fast money. It doesn't mean that it's not going to pump and that there's not necessarily a good opportunity. It just means that it's probably going to be faster with the pump and dump movements because, like I said, they didn't put as much time into it and they probably don't care about the project anyway. Going back up to this Canbag, since it had a website, let's go over and see its X profile and see if there's any posts here. They actually put a few, so maybe they're going to try to keep this thing up for a minute. We can go over to the deck screener and see how it's playing out. As you can see, it hasn't quite dumped yet, and I've actually been taking my time here. You want to be as fast as you can because as soon as these things pop up on the bot, pretty much people are clicking on these things that very second, and these bots can execute trades really fast. So by the time you lag around and look at all of the website and everything, it might have already had its movements, and you might miss the action. So now if I click on the mint number, you can see that it says text copied to clipboard, and that's automatic. That just copied the smart contract address. And if I go back up and click on reg check and paste that in, it's going to bring me up some information here. Once it loads, it takes just a couple of seconds. And this one says that it's good. This is pretty much the main thing that I see is it'll say low amount of liquidity providers, which is pretty much to be expected since these things are just seconds old. And mutable metadata, if you get one that doesn't say that, then it might actually pump pretty hard because people are looking for that. But almost all of them say this. And as you can see, by the time you start to do the research, it's already starting to move pretty quickly. Right now, though, in my opinion, it looks like it might have caught a little bit of support, or it is approaching a support line. And if it does find that support here, then maybe it'll be a buy. But if it breaks down below this area, then it's probably not going to be looking good. The main thing that you actually probably want to look for here is a bump in volume because that means that people are starting to buy. And like you can see with this one, it doesn't have any increasing volume. As a matter of fact, it seems like it's tapering off. And the price is following suit with it heading to the downside. So basically you want to put a plan together over here. The most important thing you want to look for on the chart is probably volume. When you go to look for a project, you definitely want to see if it's mintable and if it has a buy or sell tax, or if it has the single address owning most of the tokens. Because if all of those things are present, then you pretty much don't even want to touch it. But if all of those things are looking good, then you can go straight to the chart basically and see if it has liquidity over $10,000. And if it does, the website and the X profile isn't honestly all that important. It just will let you know if maybe the developers care a little bit more and they might try to pump it for longer. But after you figure out that the liquidity is over $10,000, you want to immediately go down and look at the volume and see if it's tapering off and if it's going to have a little bit of increase, because that usually means that buy orders are coming in. You never want to buy these on a pump because, as you can see, it can go straight from a pump to being straight up rugged. And generally you want to look for a pullback. Whenever these pullbacks happen, it's pretty much like any other chart. You might see some kind of a hammer candle, or it'll come down to a round number or some kind of a support that it's already touched. And then if you see it starting to do some kind of a long wick indicating that the selling pressure is dying off, or if it does a rounding bottom and starts to pump at the level of support, then that might be a good buying opportunity and a chance to get in on one of these astronomical movements. You just want to wait for a perfect setup because, as you can see, whenever this thing comes down and finds a little bit of support at this previous level of resistance, then it could pump, but if it doesn't have volume coming in, then it's probably not going to be sustained, and this is a really great recipe to lose a lot of money in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to wait and see if one of these new projects pops up here, and I'm going to try to get on it really quick and show you the process. Here one just popped up. If I click on Dex Screener and then I copy this and go up to Rug Check and paste it in, then it's going to give me this information really quick. And you can see that it's already pumped pretty significantly, and this one says danger, 50% of the whole token is owned by one person, so it's probably not going to be a really great opportunity here. However, just for shits and giggles, really, if it does have a pullback and find a little bit of support, I'll try to do a paper trade, essentially, and show you how it works. If you look over here, you can see that the liquidity is $110,000, but it's not currently locked. And over on the Telegram channel, it does say that it's renounced and burned, which means that it should be locked. But until it shows up over here, it usually doesn't start pumping. Now you can see that the liquidity has just showed up as locked since I refreshed the page. And it looks like maybe the price, since it was dumping, has started to find some support. Now it's finding some support, and I'm going to go ahead and theoretically enter a trade, basically. Also, you can see that here's some volumes that had started to come in, and it is tapering off. So maybe this isn't going to be sustained, but we're just going to wait and find out. This stuff right here will make you pretty nervous whenever it doesn't continue printing second candles. It's just going sideways underneath the line. So far, we're already in profit, just barely, and it is kind of bothering me how it just lost all of the volume, so maybe it's not going to continue to the upside, but if it does start to spike up here, I'm going to be patient, and we'll see, yeah. Sometimes it'll kind of die off right there, right after the liquidity is locked, and sometimes you'll even see it dump because it looks like all of the tokens were burned, and it basically looks like a sell on the network, and sometimes it's going to do that, like I said, right as it's getting locked, representing a really great buying opportunity if it does find some support. This one's moving pretty slowly. It is up almost 6% or 7%, and it's continuing to inch higher. And since the volume is pretty much done here, I would probably take some profit in real life, especially as it's starting to go sideways and it looks to be losing momentum. Let's see if it gets a quick volume spike here. Like I said, this is as degenerate as you get, so it is a big gamble. I think I'll just close the trade because it seems to be stuck. In this situation, I guess I would have made probably about 6%, and then there's going to be a little bit of slippage and fees, obviously. So with it saying 6.7%, maybe it would have been really 6% when you cash out. The good thing is that these bots do happen really quickly, so basically, whenever you push the button, it's going to trade pretty much instantly, just like me putting a blue line on the chart. Okay, it's been a couple of seconds here, and as you can see, it's just put in a pretty big red candle. So this really quick trade was... Okay, it's been a couple of seconds, and as you can see, it did put in a pretty big red candle and then a green one, and now it's starting to get some volatility going in. It might actually start to pump here after this, but generally, whenever it starts to curve and slow down like that, it looks like it's going to put in a pretty big red candle, and maybe someone's going to take that as an opportunity to make a big purchase like that. But you can kind of see the psychology of how this thing is working out. It's kind of like the casinos, how whenever you're up a little bit, you probably want to cash out and move on to another machine. I'm going to send a little bit of Solana from my Phantom wallet over into my BONKbot, and I guess I'm just going to execute a trade real quick and show you how it works. Hopefully I don't lose all my money, just wish me luck. Alright, you can see I just put in the address, you just copy it over here from the BONKbot and put it into the Phantom wallet, and then you choose how much you're going to send and send it right over. It should pretty much be instantaneous, as this says sent. We'll see how long it takes to pop up over here in the BONKbot. Alright, it looks like it was instantaneous. It showed up already with 0.17 Sol showing up in my wallet. And now if I go to settings, you can see that there are some settings here that can make you a quicker sniper. If you push this button right here and switch it to enabled, then it'll make it to where if you just paste any contract into the search bar or the typing bar right here, then it's going to automatically buy however much Sol you have in this space right here. So basically, if I enabled that and pasted the previous contract that I copied, it would automatically buy 0.1 Sol, and I would have probably lost all my money. So you want to be careful with that. And instead, we're going to be using these other features. But if you go over to the burned and renounced section that we were looking at earlier on the BONKbot alerts, then you basically just want to wait for one of these projects to pop up, and then you'll go through that process that I explained to you a while ago. And after that happens, you should be able to click on this one right here that says Monza, and that'll place an order for you. When one pops up, hopefully soon, I'll show you how it works. Look at this, that project that I was showing you a while ago finally got some volume, and then it pumped up a whole 100% in just a matter of seconds. It looks like a lot of big candles, but it's actually not that drastic. Like I said earlier, some of these things pump a matter of 1,000 or more percent in a matter of seconds. Okay, one just popped up. Let's see what it looks like here. Click on deck screener, and then we'll copy that one to the clipboard. Paste it into rug checker. It looks like Mr. Clean is already pumping. Mr. Clean says it's good. It has a low amount of liquidity providers though, and maybe it's going to have a little bit of a retracement here. We're going to just wait on a pullback because that's the rules. Sometimes waiting on a pullback, you'll have to watch it pump, but that might be okay because these things can dump as quickly as they pump. I'm not liking this. It looks more like it's just slowing down instead of actually pulling back. This isn't really the setup that I'm looking for, I don't think. We can check out this other one over here. I'm not going to say the name of it, I don't think, but it might be a good meme. Who knows? It's pulling back to pull back here. It's got 11,000 liquidity. Copying the mint analysis. We're not really seeing any volume coming in here yet, but okay, I see. So it's supposed to be a P. Diddy joke. Interesting. It did just put in a green candle, but it hasn't put in much volume here, so it might not continue to the upside. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Maybe we're going to have to look for a better meme here. Let's see what that other one was doing. Mr. Clean? Yeah, it never really did a pullback. It's doing a little bit of consolidating, but this is kind of sketchy because it's not putting in a level of support or anything. It's just pumping pretty hard. And you could get in for one of these pumps, I guess. It's possible. Looks like one of those that's pumping. Yeah, it's already up 2,000%. So it's a wild ride if you can get in there, but man, it's pretty sketchy chasing those green candles like that, because when you start feeling FOMO, it's probably going to pull back like this. Alright, let's check out this baby mafia. This one must have been around for a while already. It says it's been around for an hour, so that's probably not a good setup either. You want to make sure that it's basically just now printing. Although this one does look like it might actually pump right here. We'll see if it can get above its all-time high. You got to think, there's a lot of people over here at the top that bought in, and then shortly after that, they got dumped on by 69%. Nice. And they're probably just waiting on any opportunity to break even so that they can jeet, as they say, which means just get rid of all of your shit coins and run for the hills. Take the money and run. Anyway, it looks like the baby mafia might be losing its volume here. It's not really moving very much. P. Diddy over here is not moving. And Mr. Clean looks like it's making a double top. So like I was saying, you just don't want to be chasing on these pumps like that, because while it might be enticing to try to jump in on like a several 100% pump, you don't want to get caught in one of these double tops and then get sent to the shadow realm. Every now and then you're going to want to go over here and clean up, because you're going to have a lot of deck screeners open, and most of these charts will have already gone to zero, so you can just close them out. Another thing that can help you with not feeling the FOMO and maybe finding some levels to take some profits at is to switch this to the market cap, because then you can see, like right here, it topped out at exactly $100,000, and that was an obvious psychological level that people are going to take profits at. So a lot of times you can pretty much just ride it up until the next round number and then try to sell like pretty much right before there, because everybody else is going to plan to sell at that number. Alright, we just got one called the first cat in space, Felicity Cat. I'm pretty sure I've seen this name about 5 times today, but this one says it was made 3 minutes ago. So maybe it's a good meme since people keep making it. I don't know. People love space, trying to go to the moon, you know. Looks like it might be at a level of possible resistance, actually, just coming back up and turn it into resistance again. If it can break above this, though, and some volume comes in, I think it might be a pumper. 11,000 liquidity lock, or 10 now. This is usually a sign that it's going to pump if you see one of those candles. I'm seeing some volume come in, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a trade here. Buying 0.1. Alright, looks like it's gone through, and then If you want to sell, you can sell 25% or 100% whenever it starts pumping. You might want to put something there to show like kind of where you bought at even. And now the volume's starting to taper off, so it might not pump. We'll see if it continues to hold the support. Oh, I might be getting rugged, guys. We'll see. A lot of times it'll have a quick sell-off like that and fall down to a level of support, trying to flush people out of the market. And you can either panic sell or try to hold on and go for a ride. We'll see what it does, though. This isn't looking good with that lower high right there. Maybe this meme is getting played out. I did say that I saw it a few times already today. I'm getting rugged. Bummer, dude. It's below 10,000 now. It's not looking great. And like I said, these things move down really quick. I'm still in the trade and I'm just losing, guys. Yep, I think I'm just going to take that loss and move on. So we just lost 57% in a matter of seconds. You see how fast that can go. I bought it for 0.01 sol, and as you can see, I just sold it for 0.05 sol. So I was exit liquidity for these guys, and it looks like it's now going to start going up because I sold. But that's fine. That's just how the game goes sometimes, and you just got to play it like that. If you appreciate me taking this risk and losing money just to show you guys what it is, let me know. Hit that like button. Anyway, so that's how you trade meme coins on Solana. And while I did just lose like 50% in just a couple of seconds, I only lost a couple of dollars because 0.01 Solana is worth like maybe $20 at this time. And so $10 isn't that much of a risk to take in order for you to have the possibility of maybe even making like a couple 100% in the same amount of time. Just like the casino, the odds that you're going to win are probably pretty low, but at least with this, if you do win, you're probably going to win a lot bigger than you would in the casino. So you got to kind of weigh the risk to reward for yourself and make your own decision. But if you decide that you want to trade some meme coins, let me know down in the comments what your favorite meme coin is and how you go about trading. And if you want to be part of my little trading community, don't forget to follow me over on Telegram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But most importantly, don't forget to do only good every day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.